All right, I've got 7 o'clock, so I'll call tonight's special meeting to order. And Jolene, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Erickson.
Here.
Councilmember Husnick.
Here.
Councilmember Valento.
Here.
Councilmember Roberts.
Here.
Mayor Bain.
Here. Our first item this evening is to approve the agenda. Council, we've got an agenda before you. I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
We'll take a motion from Councilmember Erickson and a second from Councilmember Valento. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? And our agenda's approved. Our next item this evening is to move into closed session. And so I would move that council moves into closed session pursuant to Minnesota statute section 13D05 subdivision 2B for the preliminary consideration of allegations or charges against an individual subject to its authority. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Just a quick note before we vote on this and go into closed session. So we are going to go into closed session, and then we do have a agenda component reserved for an open session after our closed session. So if you are here or watching online, we will be coming back into this session for the open portion of this meeting. So we have a motion to close and a second. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? And we are in closed session.
Could have had the Monday Night Football game on or something, right?
I didn't think of that.
Susan should be popping into the meeting. There's a Zoom link. She doesn't need to speak, but that's who it would be. There's
Do we need a motion
Got
to
it.
So we should do a motion to reopen the meeting.
I'll make a motion that we reopen the open session.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Husnick, second from Councilmember Erickson, and we are back in open session. Our next item this evening is consideration of the interim city administrator employment agreement and related items. Council, I'd like to take this one. So during our time with Christina Hant as our interim administrator, we've not just been treading water, but we've made nice progress in a number of ways. We've reorganized our administration department. We've added a city clerk. We've created an administrative services director. We've incorporated parks into public works. We've made progress on code enforcement. We've improved long-term budgeting tools. We are substantially through our 2025 budgeting cycle. We still have the fourth quarter here to go, but we've made nice progress. And for all of those items, we would like to express our gratitude. Our interim administrative agreement allows for a non-renewal clause as of September 30th, 2024. And I move that council exercise our 30-day non-renewal provision. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All of those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? And our motion carries. Next, I move that council create a subcommittee of council of Councilmember Erickson plus the mayor to advise and oversee city administrative duties with administrative support from Jolene Chaika, whom we name as acting city administrator. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? And our motion carries. That brings us to our next item, which is consideration of our permanent city administrator update and related items. And Amanda.
Thank you, Your Honor. Council, Your Honor, just a couple updates on the permanent city administrator search. Christina Hunt did send a notice to Carl, the recruiter, that she is withdrawing from the permanent city administrator search. She mentioned that she has had enjoyed her time in the city and that she is proud of many of the accomplishments that you just mentioned, but she is pursuing other opportunities and feels like now it's the right time for a new administrator to step in and sort of take over some of the changes that she has built. So with that, we are down to 2 candidates right now for the permanent position. It would be my recommendation and Carl's recommendation that council authorize me to go back to Carl and have him fish for some more candidates so that the plan would be that council would do a reconsideration of candidates and select finalists. So hopefully Carl can find a few more candidates within the next about 2 weeks. I need to talk with him about, what he thinks that timeline will look like. But then they would be coming back. The 2 current finalists that you have already selected would also be invited to just sort of reconfirm their intention to, their desire to be considered. And then hopefully before the end of October, we would have a meeting where council could reselect essentially finalists. Is that something that process would work for council? Are we good with that, those steps moving forward?
I see lots of heads nodding around the table here. Do you need official action tonight or just some guidance?
Just some guidance. So I will do
Yes.
that, and there will be obviously updates coming back to council. I know Carl had been doing weekly updates. We will get back on that here this week with Friday updates from Carl in terms of where he's at and what kind of progress he's gotten. So that's all I needed on that.
One of the, maybe just item to note, we have not chosen to go to an external candidate for an interim. And so I think council has a lot of motivation to fill this as soon as possible. And so, let's move at Carl's pace and move, bridge this gap make it as short as possible, so.
Okay, noted.
Any other comments?
Nope.
All right. Council, that is the end of our planned agenda. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? And we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.